everybody. So, it was placed on my spirit today to talk to people about your Ogun energy. I was just going through my cards and about the message I want to give today, and my Ogun card came out, right? So let's talk about this. First, let's talk about Ogun himself, and then we'll get into what that may mean for you and the message behind this card specifically. And then we're going to go into more of a holistic approach and how to heal if you are out of balance when it comes to this energy, right? So let's talk about Ogun. So as you know, some of you know, is Ogun is a warrior Orisha that is the ruler of like metals and iron and those things. With all of the amazing things that he has done to be protective and to be protective, there were a couple moments where he lost himself, where he felt disrespected. He thought that, and when people treated him with a lack of hospitality, they were doing it to be disrespectful and dishonorable after all of the work he had done and just being tired, and he just wanted some refuge. So he came cutting heads off. Oh, disrespect? Cutting heads off, right? Just to find out that these were innocent individuals. He took it the wrong way. And he was coming in late to situations and just not understanding what was going on and took it as disrespect. So both of those times he sacrificed himself and felt as if he wasn't worthy to walk amongst the humans and walk amongst the earth because of what he had done. So he wasn't evil. He wasn't a bad person. Well, not even person, but Orisha. Because this is a supreme being that went through this, right? But he has an energy of moving first, asking later. People who are Ogun followers or Ogun being led in that energy, and children of Ogun, whether if they know it or not, these are people who have a profound sense of right and wrong. You understand what's right and what's wrong, but you're quick to be offended in a situation. You're quick to act. You don't like to plan a lot and talk a lot. You want to do, right? You like your circle small. You don't like big crowds. You have a hard time talking about your feelings. And you get a little fuzzy and stuff when it comes to the opposite sex or relationships and things of that nature. You like more spicy type of foods and stuff like that. Or maybe not. Ogun does. We'll get to that in a second. You like more of trees and mountains, and that brings you peace and healing and comfort more than the oceans and just like open field and countryside. If this all sounds like you, then you more of a person that operates in Ogun energy. And if you are off balance, which means that you are being overreactive, doing too much before you ask questions, and it's detrimental to your life or other people's lives, you're operating off balance. Now, does this mean that you need to completely change yourself? No. You are a person that do, and you are a person that has to address things right then. Because people operating in this energy is also not good for you to hold on and not say anything or not act at all. Because it doesn't go away. It just continues to cultivate. And is an explosion later that could even be more detrimental. And now you really chopping heads off. Okay? And nobody knows where it's coming from. That's what happened in two stories regarding Ogun. Nobody knew, what? They wasn't supposed to die right there. So metaphorically and literally, you have to learn discernment. You have to learn patience and even how you deliver what you deliver, because you have to deliver it. That's you. That's the person that you are. And you don't want to do a whole lot of talking to get to the point either. So you have to understand your directness and allow questions and you allow things to unfold before you just start chopping. Because it's going to hurt you in the long run if you're wrong. So allow that. Now, how does that display more into your life? First off, let's talk about this particular card that came out because somebody needs that message. So the message actually behind this card is all about being victorious against evil, allowing intellect over brutality, allowing spirit over matter. And while doing that, allowing love to prevail over evil. And success, having success because you're operating in that energy and moving like that, and also bringing more vegetation into your life. So that is also Ogun. You know, it wasn't all of his situations where he just acted like that and just cut heads off. You know, he was fatigued that day. He was tired. He wasn't thinking. So let's talk about mental health. If you are, and let's talk about the whole holistic measures of how to stay in balance so that you're not doing things that you're going to regret later, right? So let's visit Ayurveda. Ayurveda is an ancient healing system originated in India. And I love going to what people did in India and Asia when it comes to healing, because they were the first to branch out from Africa and the diaspora. And so their methods of healing and spirituality and all of those things is just so pure. So anywho, in the ancient language Sanskrit, it means science of life. That's what Ayurveda means. And when it comes to Ayurveda, the understanding of it is that you have 3 major doshas, right? Those are 3 energy bodies. I won't say centers because that's different, because centers is about the channels in your body. So these energy bodies, they govern specific functions in the body. The one that is more relevant in this conversation is Pitta. Pitta people, or people that operate more on Pitta energy, you have all 3 doshas in the body, always moving. And if it's off balance, one will be way over here while the others are trying to balance out. And it plays as dis-ease or disorders in the body when they're not balanced. Most people operate more highly on 2 doshas. Some people operate more on 1. And it's rare, but some people operate equally between the 3. Which is a good thing when everything is good, but it's a horrible thing when all of them are off. So let's talk about Pitta people, right? So Pitta people are described almost completely the same as people who follow Ogun energy, or are led or operating within that energy and connecting with that Orisha. These people are very intense. They can be very intense. They can be very aggressive. They're combative. They take offense easily. They can get jealous easily. They are very ambitious. Like, that warrior spirit is strong. They want to do, right? Act. These people run hot. They run hot. Oh, so before I get to, we'll talk about it later, because I already got here. We'll go back to it, but I do want to talk about the Igbo, or offering sacrifices that you give Ogun, in connection with Ogun and the things that he does and how he protects and gives wisdom. But we'll get to that in a second. So when it comes to your Pitta, so if you are a person that is operating in that energy, that's a sign that is too much Pitta. It's off balance. Because when Pitta people are in balance, they're actually a little more warm than hot. all the time. They're a little more warm in their energy. They're like joyful and like full of life, and they love love. You know, this is the energy that this card is talking about. How do you become more balanced, right? Let's talk about two things that are practical and to the point. One thing that cools down Pitta energy is cool drinks and foods. So if you're a person that's always eating hot food and you have these type of characteristics that I'm talking about, try eating cool foods for a while. Rather if it's cold type sandwiches or wraps, smoothies, drinks, to even take your teas cold water. Get into nature. You need to be around trees and mountains. Those are things that will calm this energy. Because this is your Ogun energy. This is your Pitta energy. Right? Mentally. So the problem that Ogun had, right, was not asking questions. I'm going to give you an example of something that happened far back when somebody gave me advice, right? And they said that I needed more sex appeal and express more womanism, right? And the things that I do in regarding to my business, they were giving me advice on my business content. And I didn't understand it. Because it's terminologies. Let's say that, right? The first step is communication and asking questions. So I could have just took it as what my definition of the word womanism would mean and sex appeal would mean. Because in my mind, I just heard this man tell me that I need to be more sexy and show more sex expression and womanism and whatever that means to him. So for me, womanism means a lot of things, you know? So I decided to ask questions because internally, I felt like maybe I need to know what they mean by that. By the end of the conversation, they did not mean what I thought. He was just trying to tell me to be confident and whatever it is that I put out, make sure that it's appealing for what I want to draw to me. So I would have never gotten that if I didn't ask questions. I might have been offended. Like, you telling me to pull my boobs out for my business? That has nothing to do with sex? I'm talking about healing. Like, I want people's wives to feel comfortable with them coming to me. And vice versa. So I'm asking questions, you know? And then are you saying that is what being a woman is? And what a woman's power is? But instead of me just jumping the gun and being and just sticking my hands with that person and looking at them different or really being irritated, I asked questions. And yes, me asking questions made them a little frustrated because I was supposed to just get it. But at the end of the day, no, I wasn't supposed to just get it because there's different meanings behind different terms. If you ask 10 people what love means, what loyalty means, now what sex appeal means, what womanism means, what a lot of words mean, they're going to give you 10 different meanings behind it. Nobody's wrong or right. It's however you were conditioned in life to have this understanding behind these terms. Being a writer and lyricist and wordsmith, I was trained to utilize the same word or say in sentences that mean different things. I was taught to do double, triple, quadruple entendres. What does that mean? That means you can take the same sentence with the exact same words and it means 3, 4, 5 different things. But it's the same exact sentence on paper. So people do the same thing when they speak. They speak in entendres and don't know it. It only connects with your mind depending on what frequency you're on where that sentence makes sense to you. So don't assume. All you Ogun, Pitta energy people, you want to jump at them. You want to be like, what? Like, head cut. Like, you know? But we have to take the time. The message is to utilize your intellect over brutality. To allow spirit to prevail over matter. That means everything that was molded, everything that was crafted, everything that was conditioned onto you to think a certain way, and to be triggered by one word or two, or a body language, or whatever it is that you take as disrespect or a reason to cut a head off. Take a second. Let your spirit prevail over all of those things that come when you are experiencing matter. And you can operate at the best of your ability. You can be warmth. You can be happiness. You can prevail over all evils in life. You can be victorious in any fight. That's what that card is about. Being victorious in any fight, in any competition, and anything like that. Because you're allowing your mind to be over your brutality. You are allowing your spirit to prevail over matter. You are allowing love to exist in your life and be victorious over evil. Cool down. Allow coolness in your body. And give gratitude and thanks and offerings to Ogun. So that's what I wanted to get to. So if you have altars, or if you don't have an altar and you put a picture up with a white candle, and you give your offerings or your sacrifices or whatnot. Ogun likes hot stuff, right? So any kind of peppers, any kind of hot spicy food, hot sauce, like, you know, like all that hot stuff. He likes that. And then he likes 151 vodka, rum, and gin. So if you pour those drinks for the libation or take a shot with Ogun, you know, that's giving him that energy, and that's how you can get that wisdom. Because Ogun, even though they said that he did some messed up stuff, he didn't like that he did some messed up stuff. He didn't do it a gang of times, but he did it a few times that was like, yo, what? Because he let the conditioning, the matter, him being tired and his body that he's utilizing on earth not being in balance, and now he's responding and acting and doing in a way that's detrimental to himself and others. And that's not him operating out as his best self. So the message of today is to operate in the best of your Ogun energy, of your warrior spirit, of your doing. It's okay to initiate, but be more compassionate and intellectual, and be ready to understand and ask questions when you feel offended or you don't completely understand something. Before you get to cutting heads off, allow understanding to reveal itself, because you will appreciate not jumping the gun and coming for necks and heads and cutting people and doing all of these things. If it unravels and it's not that. If it is that, then hey, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what to and what not to do, but allow to be shown truth, because truth is what's closest to God. And if you are not operating in truth, you are not operating your godliness, and that's why Ogun took himself to his own sword and ended his lifespan on earth a couple times. Because he's like, I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even be amongst these people. Like, I'm not worthy right now. Like, I gotta go and get right. You know? But you don't want to have to keep doing that. Right? So, peace and love to all of you. Balance out your pizza energy. Get close to the vegetation of the world. Drink something cold. Drink and eat cold for a while. It will calm you down. All right. If you would like more information on diet, on life changes, on things to do, rituals and stuff like that, regarding the spiritual aspect of things. If you would like a thorough reading, this is just one card. If you like a thorough reading, my readings, my card divination readings, to have more understanding of what's going on in your life, usually lasts between 40 and 60 minutes. We really dive deep. And if you would like to see and get an assessment of where your doshas are, where you are in the science of life in Ayurveda, then we can go over that and do an assessment for that. I have packages. Everything is really affordable. And I just want to help you guys, you know? So if you're interested in having this information, just text the number in the bio or click the link and I'll get right back to you. You know, there's different size packages depending on where you're at in your transformational journey. And we'd like to just attack things and heal things and support you in your growth holistically. So on a mental level, so spiritual level, you know, physically. So let's talk. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.